Okay, and now for a preview for the Fed decision in June. It's a more important decision than previous ones. Why? Well, the Fed has 8 decisions per year. 4 are accompanied with a press conference and new forecast, the famous dot plot. This is one of them. So that's more important. So we have the decision at 6 GMT. And the first question to ask is, indeed, everybody's expecting the Federal Reserve to raise rates. Why? Because they told us so, and they didn't tell us anything different. But the economy doesn't look good at all. Wages are stuck at 2.5%. Inflation, according to the Fed's figure, is at 1.5. The core PC price index. Also, the other inflation figure, the core CPI, is falling. The economy grew at only 1.2% in Q1, and Q2 growth, at the beginning expectations were a bit high, but now they're falling. So I don't think a rate hike is justified, but that's what they told us. So there is a very, very, very slim chance that they won't raise rates. In this case, the US dollar will crash. I don't think it will happen. Why? Because the Fed doesn't like to surprise markets. It likes to prepare us in advance. So if there is a hike, we should move on to the next things. If by surprise there's no hike, the dollar could crash. The second thing is the dot plot. Well, this is probably what will determine the reaction. Did the Fed lower the path for rate hikes in 2017 or 2018? Because that would be a dovish hike. That means that on one hand we have the Fed raising rates because they think the economic situation is still okay, but they'll still need more time to consider the next moves. Okay, so currently we have 3 rate hikes for 2017. That means 1 more left. If they leave it unchanged, no change in the dollar, or maybe we'll have a look into 2018. If they upgrade it to 4 rate hikes, it's of course dollar positive. I don't think it's quite likely. Or if they downgrade it, also I would say not so likely. More likely they will change it for 2018. Then the dollar will fall. Afterwards, the question is, what is the tone of the statement? Okay, did the Fed is worried about the falling level of inflation, about wages that are stuck? I mean, does it acknowledge reality that the US economy is not doing so well? Then in this case, the US dollar could drop. But if once again they repeat that the weak growth was transitory, weak inflation is transitory, that means it's only temporary, the US dollar could rise. Okay, there will probably be one dovish dissent. This guy here, Neil Kashkari, he voted against the rate hike in March. He will probably repeat that also now in June. And then we have a press conference by Janet Yellen at 6:30 GMT. It'll take at least 1 hour. A more optimistic Federal Reserve by Janet Yellen, then the dollar could rise. If they're more pessimistic, if she's more pessimistic, the dollar could fall. And then we have another new thing to begin talking about. It's the balance sheet. So it's not only interest rates. I think interest rates will have a bigger impact, but we're beginning to shift away to the balance sheet. So the Fed's balance sheet is 4.5 trillion US dollars. Okay, that's a lot of money. And they maintain the same level of the balance sheet since October 2014, when they ended the QE. So for each bond that expires, they buy another one. There is some talk, well, the Fed began telling us that in the second half of 2017, they'll begin reducing it. But they'll probably go as gradual as possible. They don't want another taper tantrum. There'll probably be a lot of market preparation. So if we'll have a very smooth message that they're going to begin discussing it, they lay it out, and they'll move very slowly, I don't think it'll move the US dollar, at least not now. In any case, you'll begin hearing more and more about quantitative tightening. So it's the opposite of quantitative easing. That means the Federal Reserve is not printing new money. On the contrary, they're pulling money out of the system. Okay, but again, this will probably be very slow and will not boost the dollar too much. Another thing to watch out for is that the initial reaction will be on the decision, then the dot plot, then the statement. And another thing to mention is forecasts for growth and inflation. They aren't expected to change too much. Then we'll have another reaction to Janet Yellen's press conference. But a third reaction will come at the Tokyo Open at midnight GMT, and then at the European Open at 7 GMT. So there are quite a few reactions, and this is an opportunity to invite you all to the live coverage beginning at I think 5:45 GMT with Valeria Bidnarik and myself. Okay, so that's the Fed preview.